Hello, I'm Dale Robbins from the Eubank Church of Christ, and I would like to talk about another moment with the Master. Another moment when Jesus had an interaction with his apostles that had a long-lasting effect upon them. Jesus had completed a very successful preaching tour in Judea, but there were some who were beginning to be suspicious of him because of his popularity. He then decided he was going to go back to Galilee for a while, but he chose to travel through Samaria. Now, this is not a common route taken by the Jews, for they had a great contempt toward the Samaritans, for they felt that they were a mixed race, and they would not want to associate with them. But they came to a well, and the apostles went into town to buy some food. But Jesus was tired, and he simply sat on the edge of the well and waited for them to return. While he was there, the story of what happened is found for us in John chapter 4. There was a woman who came to the well to draw water, and Jesus asked her if she would draw water for him. She was very shocked at this, because normally in their arrogance, the Jews would not even talk to the Samaritans and certainly would not ask them for any favors. But this woman realized that she could do something to help Jesus, and she did inquire, "Why are you talking with me?" And Jesus then shared with her his insights into her life. He talked about her husband, or rather the absence of a husband, that she had had 5 husbands, and the man that she was now living with was not her husband. Realizing that information, the woman was amazed. She realized this had to be a man of God. She had a question about worship and what would be the right thing to do. And Jesus made the point that now is not the time for them to worry on that particular point. He said, but the time is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. For God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. John chapter 4, verses 23 and 24. Jesus was making the point it's not about a location. It's about worshiping sincerely, worshiping with the right attitude, the right spirit, and worshiping in accordance with truth. Well, this woman went back to town, and she spread the news that a prophet was out by the well, someone who told her all that she had ever done. And the Samaritans soon began to flock out to that well to talk to Jesus, and they as well were convinced that truly this man was someone special. Now, in the processes of this, the apostles had first gone into the village to buy food, and they were gone when Jesus had his interaction with this woman. And whenever they got back with the food, Jesus was pretty pumped up. He wasn't starving to eat the food that they brought. He talked about having meat that they didn't know anything about. And they were thinking, well, did someone come and feed him something? But he went on to talk about how it was so important to do the will of his Father, to be about his Father's business, to do those things that would save the souls of men. And so the apostles understood then the importance of standing for the ways of God, even among some rather unlikely characters, as we might consider these Samaritans. In fact, they stayed with them for a couple of days before they actually left then to go on back up to Galilee. So Jesus helped us to understand that truly all men need to be reached with the gospel, and so it should be today, that we strive our very best to do all that we can to help folks understand more about Jesus. And we hope that you will go to a local Church of Christ and do some more studying as well to find out some more things about the Master, Jesus Christ, the Son of God.